My boyfriend is acting weird. The moment he saw my roommate, he got all defensive and told me she's scheming. She'll steal me away from you and convince me to bankrupt your family. Even my boyfriend's mom joined in. You're my chosen daughter-in-law. Whoever you fall for in the future, he becomes my son. Overnight, the whole world became strange. I seemed to become fate's favorite. Everyone loved me, and anyone who tried to mess with me got targeted by the universe. Today, I was about to go shopping with my new transfer roommate, Tessa, when we ran into my boyfriend, Ryan, waiting at the door with roses. Tall, fair-skinned, with sharp features and furrowed brows that made him look stern. Girls around were whispering, "He's so hot. Look. He has flowers. Must have a girlfriend." So what if he has a girlfriend? He's obviously not getting married young. Just go for it. Hearing those voices, his frown deepened. After all these years, he still hated girls fangirling over him. But the moment he saw me, his face melted into a pleasing smile. I took his roses, curious. "Why did you suddenly come?" He kissed my forehead. "Naturally missed you. So I came." I blushed under the envious stares. Then my roommate Tessa pointed at Ryan and gasped, "How is it you?" I was confused. "You two know each other?" Ryan ignored her and said gently, "Some crazy woman, I don't know her. Emma, want to come home with me? I need to tell you something. I was puzzled, though Ryan could be sharp-tongued. I'd never seen him this defensive. Seeing his weird mood, I looked upon logically at Tessa, about to tell her I couldn't go shopping today. But she wasn't looking at me. She reached for Ryan, who dodged away. "I just misunderstood about you hitting someone yesterday. I didn't know it was a scam. I already apologized. What more do you want? Why are you so petty?" Ryan's aura turned darker, like facing an enemy. "Eat less salt. You're too free. If you're really bored, go figure out why the ocean is so wide. My wife and I have things to do. He expertly dodged her reaching hand again and led me away, leaving Tessa fuming behind on the way. Before I could ask, Ryan spoke gloomily. "Emma, do you believe our world is just the novel? What, are you crazy or am I?" I raised an eyebrow, signaling him to continue. He sighed like he'd made a decision anyway. "I'll definitely protect you. I've set up a trust fund. If I ever betray you, I'll lose everything." After thinking, he added, "That roommate of yours is scheming. She'll steal me from you and convince me I bankrupt your family. Stay away from her. Tessa. She transferred to our dorm this year as a senior. Though a bit silly, she was straightforward and loyal. Our whole dorm liked her. But Ryan wasn't. One to talk nonsense between a new roommate and my boyfriend. I definitely trust my boyfriend. Under my questioning, he told me everything. He'd been having the same dream repeatedly. He thought it was just a dream, until the person from it appeared in real life. In the dream, our world was a novel told from the female lead's active beautifying her actions. He was the male lead, but I was just a vicious supporting character. He met the female lead, Tessa, through a misunderstanding. The female lead was compassionate and righteous, like a stubborn little white flower. Learning the supporting character was the male lead's girlfriend. She used her position as the roommate to approach him, just to clear up their misunderstanding, their coincidences. She caught his attention and walked into his heart. The male lead confessed their relationship was just a family arrangement without feelings. The pretentious supporting character went crazy, targeting the female lead. After learning this, she ended up ruined by the active male lead. The male and female leads lived happily ever after. Joke's on them. "Baby, I've considered you my future wife since you were in the womb. How could I have no feelings?" Ryan looked disdainful discussing the plot at his house. I got a passionate bear hug from Ryan's mom. My future mother-in-law, Linda. "Emma, sweetie. Your mom, my chosen daughter-in-law. If my son treats you badly, dump him immediately. Whoever you fall for becomes my son. Why did the world suddenly become so weird?" I looked at the awkward Ryan beside me and helped laughing. He coughed uncomfortably. "Mom. I won't treat Emma badly. Before he finished, Linda's eyes wide. I haven't settled accounts with you yet. I said. Emma is my only daughter-in-law. But you brought that fake girl to anger me. You even dared to ruin Emma's family. How capable are you? Getting more agitated. She waved her hand. Get lost. Seeing you unlucky son annoys me. I'm disowning you. Her eyebrows shot up angrily. Ryan's face changed. Linda was talking about thing that would happen in the novel. Mom, I won't do that. But she cut him off. You won't know. But you will later. Ryan paused looking serious. Mom, did you also have that dream? Linda looked stunned. My silly son. You dream too great. These two successfully connected their secret code. I watched helplessly as mother and son whispered together for ages. One unskeptical but scolding. One apologizing and swearing oaths when they reached consensus. My future mother-in-law's scheming smile actually made me shiver. Dear daughter-in-law, you just sit front row and watch the show. Leave tearing apart fake girls to me and Ryan. She sighed, looking regretful. I once encountered a fake girl. But my husband handled it before I could act. Now I finally get to practice. Ha ha. Watching her eager expression, I could only awkwardly think. Being everyone's favorite feels great. Linda and Ryan formed at Spoiled Emma Squad. Despite the cheesy name, I loved it. Today, at the squad's strong request, I visited Ryan's company. According to them, to prevent plot armor, Ryan would either stay at the company or with me. These days, absolutely no chances for scheming women. With this amusing and touching thought, I ran into Tessa at the reception. She was being stopped by security. Throwing a tantrum. I'm here to see your CEO. Haven't you heard of emergency exceptions? I'll make an appointment next time. The receptionist saw me and bowed. Miss Blue. Here to see President Wilson. I'll take you up seeing me. Tessa's eyes lit up. Emma. You can see their CEO. Take me with you. I really have an emergency. I glanced at her. Thanks to the squad's constant brainwashing, I naturally felt more resistant to Tessa. Unexpectedly, when Ryan didn't give her a chance to meet him, she came looking herself. Emma. You have to take me up. Tessa pleaded, clutching the strap of her tote bag. I have a marketing idea that will save his company millions. It's unprofessional of him to block talent just because of personal bias. I looked at her, genuinely baffled. Tessa, you're an English major. Ryan runs a tech conglomerate. And you're currently shouting in the lobby. You wouldn't understand, she huffed, brushing a stray lock of hair behind her ear, a move I recognized from Ryan's description of the stubborn little white flower in his dream. I'm doing this for him. He's surrounded by yes men. He needs someone real. The receptionist looked ready to call the police, but I sighed. Fine. But if security throws you out, I don't know you. I swiped my pass. Tessa smirked triumphantly, whispering, see? Fate always opens a door. We rode the elevator up. The moment the doors opened to the top floor, Tessa didn't wait for me. She marched straight toward the CEO's office. The secretary, a formidable woman named Mrs. Higgins, stood up. Miss, you can't. Ryan. Tessa yelled, shoving the heavy oak doors open. I trailed behind, wincing. Inside, Ryan was in the middle of a video conference. He froze, his eyes narrowing as they landed on Tessa. He looked at me, and his expression instantly softened, but the panic in his eyes was visible. The plot. Ryan ended the call abruptly. Who let her in? I brought her, I said, leaning against the doorframe. She said she has a plan to save your company. Ryan looked at Tessa as if she were a radioactive isotope. He stood up and walked around his desk, keeping a wide berth. Save my company. Our stock is at an all-time high. Tessa stepped forward, tripping over nothing, literally nothing, on the plush carpet. She pitched forward with a startled cry, aiming directly for Ryan's chest. In the novel, this would be the moment he catches her. Their eyes would meet, time would stop, and he'd realize she was fragile and needs protecting. In reality, Ryan sidestepped with the agility of a professional boxer. Thump. Tessa face planted onto the Persian rug. Ouch. She sat up, tears welling in her eyes. Ryan. Why didn't you catch me? I have a fiancé, Ryan said, dusting off his suit jacket as if her proximity alone had soiled it. And I don't catch lawsuits. Mrs. Higgins, call security. And call the cleaners to sanitize that spot on the rug. Tessa scrambled up, her face red. You're misunderstood. You act cold, but I know you're lonely. I saw you looking at the ocean in that magazine interview. I know the depth of your soul. Ryan walked over to me, wrapping an arm around my waist and burying his face in my neck. He took a deep breath. Emma, get me out of here. The cringe is terminal. You're just afraid to admit your feelings. Tessa shouted as two burly security guards grabbed her arms. Emma is just a family obligation. You don't love her. Ryan lifted his head, his face turning icy. Obligation? I spent 3 years building a separate server just to store photos of Emma so I wouldn't run out of phone storage. I learned to bake macarons because she mentioned she liked them once in 2019. Get this delusion out of my office. As Tessa was dragged away, screaming about destiny, Ryan slumped against me. That was terrifying, he whispered. Did you see? She tripped over air. The physics of this world are breaking just to throw her at me. The spoiled Emma squad needs a strategy meeting, I said, patting his back. Call your mom. We met Linda at a high-end tea house. When we recounted the lobby incident, Linda slammed her porcelain cup down so hard it chipped. The audacity. Linda hissed, adjusting her diamond brooch. Tripping. In 2024. That is such a cheap trope. I raised my son to have balance, not to be a landing pad for clumsy women. She's persistent, Mom, Ryan said, feeding me a small cake. And the world is helping her. The security camera at the lobby malfunctioned right when she entered, which is why she wasn't stopped earlier. Linda's eyes narrowed. If the world wants to play scriptwriter, then I'll be the executive producer. I have more budget. She pulled out her phone and dialed her assistant. Yes, Charles. By the building Emma's dormitory is in. Yes, the whole thing. Renovations starting tomorrow. Evict everyone to temporary luxury housing, except for room 304. No, leave that one. Cut the water and power for maintenance. Let's see how romantic her life is without a hairdryer. I almost choked on my tea. Linda, isn't that a bit extreme? Sweetie, Linda took my hand, her gaze intense. In the dream, she ruins your family by leaking false tax documents. I'm simply giving her a preview of the real world. Now, the annual Wilson Charity Gala is next week. In the novel, this is where she humiliates you, right? Ryan nodded grimly. She spills red wine on Emma's white dress. I yell at Emma for being clumsy. Tessa offers her own dress, which is actually a cheap knockoff, and everyone praises her simplicity. Right, Linda smiled, and it was a terrifying thing to behold. Emma, you're wearing the Starry Night gown from the Chaotic Vault. The one with the nanotechnology fabric. The what? Hydrophobic, Ryan explained. Liquid rolls right off it. I developed it for industrial use, but Mom had it made into a dress. And, Linda added, I'm inviting her. What? Ryan and I yelled in unison. If we don't invite her, she'll sneak in as a waitress or a musician, and we won't be able to track her, Linda explained, channeling the energy of a 5-star general. Keep your enemies close, and your daughter-in-law closer. We control the environment. We control the narrative. The Wilson Charity Gala was the event of the year. The ballroom was dripping in gold and crystals. I wore the dark blue gown Linda had chosen, it shimmered like the night sky. Ryan refused to leave my side, his hand gripping mine so tightly his knuckles were white. Relax, I whispered. You look like you're going to an execution. I am, he muttered. The execution of my sanity. Tessa arrived. She wasn't wearing a gown. She was wearing a simple, slightly ill-fitting white cocktail dress. She looked out of place, which, according to novel logic, made her unique and refreshing amidst the superficial crowd. I watched her beeline for the champagne tower. Here it comes, Ryan groaned. Tessa grabbed 2 glasses. She spotted us. A determined glint entered her eyes. She started walking toward us. Suddenly, a waiter bumped into her. It was happening. The physics engine of the universe engaged. The champagne launched from the glasses, defying gravity, arching perfectly toward my chest. Ryan flinched to block it, but I held him back. Let it happen. The liquid splashed over me. Tessa gasped, hand over her mouth. Oh my God. Emma. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. The room went silent. People stared. But the champagne didn't soak in. It beaded up on the fabric like mercury and rolled off, dripping onto the floor, leaving the dress perfectly dry and shimmering. Oh, no worries, I said brightly, my voice carrying through the silent hall. Ryan's technology is amazing, isn't it? Stain-proof. Tessa stood there, holding the empty glasses, looking like a glitching NPC. The script said I was supposed to be wet, crying, and humiliated. She didn't have a backup line. I can lend you my dress, she blurted out anyway. The crowd murmured. Why would she need your dress? Linda stepped out from the crowd, holding a glass of vintage red. Hers isn't dirty. And frankly, dear, yours looks like a curtain from a motel in 1995. Scattered laughter rippled through the room. Tessa's face turned crimson. You rich people are all the same. Bullying someone just because they're poor. Ryan. Tell them. She reached for Ryan's arm. Security, Ryan said calmly. Wait. Tessa screamed. I have proof. Proof that Emma is sabotaging you. She pulled a crumpled envelope from her bag. This was the tax evasion plot point. In the dream, she produces fake documents showing my father embezzling money from Ryan's company. Ryan took the envelope. He didn't open it. He handed it directly to a man standing behind him, the chief of police, who happened to be a guest. Chief, this woman just claimed to have possession of sensitive corporate financial documents. Since she's not an employee, that sounds like corporate espionage or theft. Could you look into how she got these? Tessa froze. What? No, I found them. On Emma's desk. My desk? I raised an eyebrow. I'm a kindergarten teacher, Tessa. My desk has crayons and glue sticks, not Ryan's tax returns. The logic bomb hit the crowd. They whispered. Is she crazy? Why would a teacher have corporate tax files? Tessa stammered, The script, it's not supposed to go like this. Take her away, Ryan said, turning his back on her. As the police escorted a struggling Tessa out, Linda clinked her glass against mine. Plot armor breached. Shield integrity at 100%. We thought it was over. We were wrong. 2 weeks later, the universe began to glitch harder. I would walk down the street, and a flower pot would fall from a windowsill, missing me by inches, only for Ryan to pull me away. Ryan's car brakes failed. Miraculously, he had taken the car to the shop that morning because he had a bad feeling, so no one was in it when it rolled into a lake. Linda's bank accounts were frozen due to a system error for exactly 24 hours. It's the climax, Ryan said one evening. We were holed up in his penthouse. The story realizes it's losing. It's going to try a force quit. What does that mean? I asked, terrified. It means a kidnapping, Ryan said darkly. It's the standard third act conflict. The villainess, you, supposedly kidnaps the heroine to force the hero's hand. Or, the heroine gets kidnapped, and I have to go save her, and you get jealous and die trying to stop me. So we just stay inside. No, Ryan stood up, buttoning his cuffs. We trigger it on our terms. He pulled up a GPS map on the big screen. Tessa has been loitering around the abandoned shipyard at the docks. It's a classic location. She's sending me anonymous texts saying, come alone or you'll regret it. She's trying to lure you. Yes. If I go, she'll stage a scene where she's tied up. She'll claim you did it. So don't go. If I don't go, the world might create a gas leak in this apartment to force us out, Ryan said seriously. We have to go. But we're not going alone. We're bringing the squad. The abandoned warehouse was dusty and smelled of rust. Classic atmosphere. Ryan walked in, looking like a runway model in a trench coat. I was hiding in the surveillance van outside with Linda and a SWAT team Ryan had hired privately. Ryan. Tessa's voice echoed. She was tied to a chair in the center of the room. And I had to give her credit for commitment, she had tied herself. The knots were loose, and the rope was draped artistically to emphasize her figure. You came. She sobbed. Emma, she's crazy. She hired thugs. They tied me up and said they'd kill me if you didn't sign over your company to her. Ryan stopped 10 feet away. He pulled out his phone. Hey, babe. You hearing this? In the van, I pressed the button on the microphone. My voice boomed through the warehouse speakers Ryan had secretly installed an hour ago. I hear it, honey. Just for the record, I'm currently eating popcorn with your mom. Tessa's head whipped around. What? Where is she? Ryan sighed. Tessa, there are no thugs. There is no kidnapping. We have drone footage of you driving here alone, buying the rope at Home Depot, and tying yourself up for 45 minutes. You really struggled with that last knot. He tapped his phone, and a projector beam hit the wall. It played a high-speed video of Tessa struggling to wrap duct tape around her own ankles. No. Tessa screamed. This isn't real. You're supposed to save me. You're supposed to see my vulnerability and fall in love. Why? Ryan asked, genuinely curious. Why would I love someone who tries to frame the woman I've loved since I was 5? You're not a victim, Tessa. You're a narcissist. Because I'm the protagonist. Tessa shrieked, breaking free of the loose ropes and standing up. Her eyes were wild. The world bends for me. I'm the one. You're just an NPC. She lunged at him, pulling a switchblade from her boot. The air in the warehouse seemed to vibrate. A heavy crate hanging from a crane above Ryan began to creak. The plot was trying to drop a literal anvil on him to incapacitate him so she could nurse him back to health. Ryan, move. I screamed into the mic. Ryan didn't move. He pointed a small device at the crane. Magnetic field disruptor, he muttered. The crate fell, but it veered sideways, crashing harmlessly into a pile of empty barrels. Tessa froze, shocked that the universe had missed. At that moment, the warehouse doors burst open. Not by police, but by Linda. She was wearing a Kevlar vest over her Chanel suit. She held a taser. Stay away from my son, you plot hole. Zap. Tessa convulsed and dropped to the floor. Linda blew on the taser like it was a smoking gun. I've been waiting to use this for 3 chapters. The aftermath was surprisingly bureaucratic. With the drone footage, the attempted assault with a weapon, and the fraud, Tessa was committed to a psychiatric facility. The doctors said she suffered from severe delusional disorder with erotomania. Without her presence, the world's weirdness evaporated overnight. The sky seemed bluer. People stopped whispering about Ryan being cold and started treating him like a normal, successful businessman. 6 months later. I sat in the garden of Ryan's family estate. The roses were in full bloom, red, vibrant, and real. Not symbols of impending doom. Ryan walked out, carrying a tray of lemonade. He sat beside me, looking relaxed. The furrow between his brows, the one the novel described as stern, was gone. Mom is planning the wedding, he said, taking a sip. She wants to hire the entire Vienna Philharmonic. Let her, I laughed. She saved our lives. You know, Ryan looked at the sky. I don't have the dreams anymore. The voice in my head narrating my actions. It's gone. Do you think the story is over? I asked. Ryan took my hand, kissing my knuckles. The story where we were puppets is over. The story where we live our lives. That's just starting. And the title? I teased. He smirked. I think The Villainess and the CEO Bankrupt the plot has a nice ring to it. Too long, I said, leaning my head on his shoulder. How about just us? Perfect. From the balcony above, Linda watched us through opera glasses, weeping silently into a silk handkerchief. Good angle, she whispered to herself. Lighting is perfect. Fade to black. And for the first time, the world obeyed her, and the sun set peacefully on our terms.